Jay-Z is now facing 2 federal lawsuits against Rocnation after being named in the lawsuit with Diddy. These 2 lawsuits just got moved to a Texas federal court, and they were filed by Tony Buzbee on behalf of 2 of his former clients. And these 2 lawsuits are alleging that Rocnation, Quinn Emanuel, and MJ Legal were involved in a conspiracy that hired private investigators to go after Tony Buzbee's former clients, current clients, and more, and offer them money to file fake lawsuits against him after Jay-Z was named in the case with Diddy. And yes, we are talking about these private investigators that Tony Busby has been talking about for quite a while. In these 2 lawsuits, these clients were alleging that private investigators were coming to them, offering them money, stalking them, and a lot more. And Tony Busby also included transcripts of phone recordings from these private investigators allegedly offering these people money to file lawsuits against them. Now, in these lawsuits, they allege that one of the private investigators actually slipped up on one of these phone calls that were recorded and alleged that they were hired by Marcy Croft. And in this lawsuit, they allege that Marcy Croft has worked for Alex Spiro and Jay-Z's Rocnation, and they included a lot of different posts from Marcy Croft talking about them. And weirdly enough, it was Marcy Croft who asked for these lawsuits to be moved from state court to federal court because of the jurisdiction of all of the people involved. Marcy Croft's lawyer emails Tony Busby and says that they demand that Tony Busby send them the original audio where one of these private investigators admitted that she was hired by Marcy Croft. And they also said they want any identifying information such as phone numbers that Tony Busby has about this Jessica Santiago. They told Tony Busby that they were going to file a special appearance contesting personal jurisdiction in the above reference of this lawsuit. Tony Busby replied and said, if you think you have a special appearance to file it. The rule allows discovery on personal jurisdiction issues when those issues are raised. When you answer or otherwise respond to the case, I suggest that you take advantage of that process. We will as well. Otherwise, follow the rules. There is no provision that requires us to produce documents in a week based on a silly letter. Finally, just to be clear, you realize the shady activities your clients were engaged in that took place in Houston, right? We will seek the costs if you choose to file a meritless special appearance. I look forward to learning more about your clients, and I look forward to working with you. Then after doing some digging, I realized Tony Busby filed his own lawsuit against Quinn Emanuel and Marcy Croft. And he starts this lawsuit out with a timeline of how he's been representing plaintiffs against Diddy and others. And he's saying that these multiple lawsuits that were filed against him right after allegedly naming Jay-Z in this Diddy lawsuit were intended to silence his firm. He said that his firm sent a demand letter to one celebrity, Celebrity A, who was possibly going to be involved in a lawsuit with Diddy. He said in response to that demand letter, 2 lawsuits were filed against him simultaneously. One lawsuit filed in New York alleged a purported malpractice claim brought on by an alleged former client, and another one was filed in Los Angeles by Quinn Emanuel that alleged that the firm was trying to extort Celebrity A. Tony Busby said that the timing of these lawsuits clearly indicate that they were coordinated by a person acting on behalf of Celebrity A. Filing meritless litigation is behavior that will not work or intimidate or otherwise harass the Busby law firm. Tony Busby alleged that the law firm Quinn Emanuel has a long history of outrageous, sanctionable conduct and reputation to match. However, rather than addressing the merits of the case, Quinn Emanuel apparently believes that it's more productive and more effective to attack and harass the attorneys involved in the case. He said that shortly after these two bogus lawsuits were filed, people representing themselves as researchers, investigators, and in some cases as attorneys began contacting a wide array of people associated with the Busby law firm. In some cases, these people identified themselves as working for Lex Intelligence or had been hired by defendant Quinn Emanuel. In other cases, phone numbers used to contact were associated with Lex Intelligence. He said that these investigators and attorneys contacted all of the following categories of people: former employees of the firm, family members of employees of the firm, family members of Mr. Busby, witnesses in cases handled by the firm, current clients of the firm, and other third-party associates with the firm or Mr. Busby. In addition, one current employee of the firm that caught a video of two different men with tripods taking pictures of and around his house. Investigators have approached former clients, including by going to the client's residence and stating that they were part of an ongoing investigation in a fraud in Texas. Investigators have contacted numerous former employees of the firm, some who have not worked for the firm for more than 10 years. Investigators have also contacted witnesses in a number of the firm's cases. In one instance, the investigator was aggressive and harassing, asking for information about the firm's clients. This investigator noted to the witness that he was aware that the witness had warrants out for her arrest. The firm is also aware of at least one instance in which an investigator contacted one of the firm's co-counsel to ask about the firm's business practices. Numerous family members of firm employees, including Mr. Busby's daughter, have been contacted by investigators seeking controversial, salacious, or disparaging information about the firm. Most recently, investigators contacted several of the firm's current clients as former clients. These contacts inquired into fraud and, in one instance, whether the client was coerced into signing with the Busby law firm. Tony Busby includes tons of signed affidavits where people are saying that this happened to them in this lawsuit. This was a former client who said that two men came to her house harassing her for information about the Busby law firm. This is the wife of a former client of the Busby law firm who said that two men came to her house harassing her and her husband for information about the Busby law firm. This is a girlfriend of a client of the Busby law firm who said that one man and a woman came to her house harassing her, threatening her, and demanding information about the clients of the Busby law firm. She said that these investigators pretended to be trying to serve a warrant upon me for an alleged crime for fraud and identity theft in New York that I had nothing to do with. This is a co-counsel with the Busby law firm who said that she received a voicemail to her cell phone from a woman stating that she was doing research into the Busby law firm. This is an attorney that was a former employee at the Busby law firm that alleged that he got a phone call from an investigator that worked at Lex Intelligence. This is a legal intern who works at the Busby law firm who said that she received a phone call from a female caller who did not identify herself. The unknown caller left a voicemail stating that she was conducting due diligence on the Busby law firm. This is Tony Busby's daughter who said that she received a phone call from an unknown number from New York, and the caller left a voicemail stating that she was conducting due diligence on the Busby law firm and suggests that she give her a call back. This one is an attorney at the Busby law firm who caught an unknown man standing in front of his home, and he took pictures with a portable electronic device. And then a couple hours later, he saw another unknown man lurking in front of his house with a professional-grade single-lens camera and tripod. The next day, he reviewed separate surveillance video of two men out front of the home of a former client of Tony Busby and was able to confirm it was the same men. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.